Hey, just taping a update from Marlin, Texas. Staying at my Airbnb right now, and really cool spot. Um, it's a nice little private room in this beautiful house run by a very nice couple. Um, they're one of the most interesting couple I've ever met. Seems like they've traveled the world for about 20, 30 years of their lives, and learn a lot about the stories they have. But just a quick update. I moved away from Belton, Texas, which was where I was for about a week, and yeah, did a lot of interesting things around there right before I left. Shot some footage too. Just trying this out, learning a little bit more about how this camera works. Yeah, so the one place I went to was this vineyard about 1 hour outside of Belton. And I didn't know a lot about the Texas wine industry, but apparently it's been a huge movement of New World wine around the state. According to the owner, they said that Texas is probably the fourth or fifth largest wine producer in the country. So got a nice little tasting, walked around the compound. It was really nice. Just very flat Texan sort of grassland. They have about 4 or 5 acres of grapes, I guess. Not a big, wine expert, but I had a tasting for about 30 minutes, talked with those folks for about everything. I was just so surprised how nice people are, everywhere in my travels, this part of the country. And yeah, they were nice enough to show me the cellar where they keep the wine to let it age. Had a little tasting directly from the barrel. That was quite an interesting experience. And I was just so surprised by the hospitality. And I think as we visit a lot of these small, local artisans, we want to use whatever powers we have to get them more known across the country, across the world, just to have people experience the same thing we have experienced. So yeah, the vineyard was really nice, and on the way back, and found a few other lakes. I just really love, bodies of water, and I really enjoy just taking those shots and, go down to the water and talk to some nice folks and see what they're doing with their lives, and had some really nice conversation about where we should go and how we should plan our trip. Yeah, and then left Belton about 2 or 3 days ago. Was gonna meet up with Dima and Anna, but they had, as I mentioned in the last video, they had a little bit of delay, and so they're actually coming tomorrow, which is 3 days, 3 days after when we originally planned. But hey, in any case, we're getting started soon. Gonna take the car that we just bought, take it for a little checkup tomorrow, make sure that there's no real issue with it. But now I'm in Marlin, Texas, which is about 1 hour away from Waco, and I didn't know much about Waco, besides the fact that Baylor University was there. And so when I first got there, before I checked in my Airbnb, stopped by a really nice little coffee shop, and I was just so surprised by how much heart and how much character is in this little spot. Sat there, did some work, managed my own business and finances a little bit, but chatted with the students around me, and they're all really nice. So one interesting thing about Waco was that there's actually this place called the Magnolia Silo, and I knew nothing about this place before I came here. In fact, that I was chatting with my host, and she said that this has become like one of the most popular tourist destinations around here. And I was like, okay, I have to check this out because people here just go nuts over it. And she says that a lot of the guests that stays in this Airbnb actually came, specifically to Waco, Texas, flying into Dallas or Austin in order to go see the Magnolia Silos. And apparently it was built or renovated by this power couple that is well known in the city of Waco, and they had their own TV show on a cable channel, and they're known for fixing up different houses. And so they, one day saw these silos pretty close to downtown of their home, and they're like, yeah, we want to take this spot and make it into something interesting. And they did. I was there for about an hour and a half. Has a little bakery and a nice area for a nice playground with synthetic grass for kids to play on. And then there's a section with all these food trucks. And I came from Austin, so I'm pretty familiar with food trucks, and that had a lot of variety. And I wasn't really hungry because I had a big meal for breakfast, but walked around, just really nicely put together, well decorated. You can see all the heart and soul that went into every single little detail. Then walked around the shop that they had, and it was kind of like a Crate and Barrel or West Elm. Home decor is not really my strong suit, but walked around and saw a lot of interesting stuff that they put together. It was very tastefully selected and curated, and I was just shocked to actually see the huge crowd that was just going in and out. And my hands were full, so I didn't get to talk to a lot of different people, but there were people coming from hundreds of miles away. I joked that it was almost a pilgrimage for all these people, and I think that's why I actually overheard a conversation from a guy, and he said that his wife is super into the show that the couple was shooting. She watches that show all day long, and so I thought it was pretty interesting. I don't know if we have time to take Dima and Anna to go see this place. We actually planned, so I'm gonna go to Dallas tomorrow to meet up with them, and we planned, so far about 10 days from the day they arrive. Just gonna work our way slowly down to Houston, where we will be staying in Galveston, and I don't know, maybe the weather will cooperate. We'll get a little beach action, relax a little bit, and so super excited about that. And besides that, around Waco, went to the zoo. My host spoke very highly of the zoo. Apparently there's a lot of animals they have there that are rescued, and I'm not a big fan of zoos, to be honest. I find it a little bit morbid and a little bit depressing, even just to see how there's a lot of wild animals that should be roaming in a pretty large area, but now they're just trapped in this small little confined area. But hey, people should be able to see a variety of life, right? And so when I go to the zoo, my first response is always I'm a little bit sad, but then I tell myself hey, you're not gonna see a big giraffe every day, or a big lion, or some of these cool monkeys or whatever. So it was a nice little walk for an hour or two. Shot a lot of footage with just handheld camera, because I've been trying the gimbal a little bit, but I'm trying this other lens that I have, which does pretty well when it's just stabilized using both the camera's stabilization and the lens stabilization. And so still feeling things out and see what works the best. But I think once the crew is here, we're just really gonna hit it and try to come up with content that we can repeat on a daily basis and make it interesting for everyone. My last video I spoke about how I want to review different General Tso's chicken in different Chinese restaurants, and in small towns that scatter across the South. That's one thing that I think could be a repeatable format for our viewers. Meanwhile, we're discussing a lot of different other video ideas for the others. I want Dima and Anna to take advantage of their own unique backgrounds and discover something that they're interested in or even passionate about, to record, to document, and to share with the world. So tonight I'm just gonna continue editing some of this footage and hopefully piece this vlog update into a video. And then yeah, gonna pack the bags and go meet them at the Dallas airport tomorrow. So super excited. Finally, they're gonna join me. 2 New Yorkers in the South. I don't know. Could be really interesting. So yeah, and I think that's everything I wanted to cover. So stay tuned.